Sijisikie vibaya katika ile hali ya kuhakikisha kwamba mimi na wewe tumekuwa connected. Na mimi na wewe tukiwa connected, tunaweza kufanya jambo fulani kubwa. Ndipo unapoweza ukanisikiliza, ndipo unapoweza ukanielewa, ndipo unapoweza ukatengeneza mpango wa kufanyia kazi kile tulichofanya nini? Tulichozungumza. Hatukuja hapa kupiga story, hatuko kwenye kijiwe cha kahawa, wala hatuko kwenye saloon tukipiga story za mambo yanayoendelea mahala fulani. Tuko hapa kuboresha uwezo wetu kama binadamu ili tuweze kutawala mazingira yanayotuzunguka na yale tunayoyazunguka, tuweze kuyatawala na kuyashika na kuyacommand, kwa sababu uwezo tumepewa na Mungu mwenyewe. Mwanadamu alipoumbwa, mimi ni muumini wa uumbaji wa 6 literal days, yani Mungu alipotoka kwanza, ya pili, ya tatu, ya nne. Wako watu wanaamini Mungu aliumba lakini hakuumba consecutively. Sawa? Mimi ni muumini wa literal 6 days of creation. Na ninaposoma kitabu cha Mwanzo 1 mstari wa 26 anasema, na tumfanye mtu, eman. Biblia imeandika eman. Hiyo eman iliyoandikwa hapo ni ya mwanamume na mwanamke. Mtu kwa Kiingereza mtu ni man. Sawa? Sio kwamba waliumbwa wanaume wa kwanza, wanawake wa pili, hapana. Na tumfanye mtu kwa mfano wetu, mfano wa Mungu, in God's image. Sawa? Alafu kienda kuangalia kitabu cha Mwanzo sura ya 2, kinajaribu kufafanua namna ambavyo Mungu alifanya uumbaji na majukumu aliyompa. Moja, kazi aliyompa Adamu na mke wake siku ile ya baada ya kuumbwa, aliwaambia nao wakatawale. They should reign. Sio rule. There is difference between ruling and reigning. Wakatawale. Hiyo ukisoma katika Biblia zingine nasema they should subdue. Wakaitiishe nchi, ikazae, ikafanye ndege wa angani wote na vitu vyote alivyoumba Mungu. Hapa Adamu anapewa magnificent power. The power beyond all powers that all creatures had. Yeye ndiye anaambiwa kuwa mtawala. Be made a person who can subdue. Yani anaweza kumwamuru simba. Na nataka niwaambie, wako watu wamekuwa wakijadili falsafa iliyoandikwa na Mwamerika mmoja aliyesema kwamba the human being has used only 1/10 of his brain power. Kuna sana kubadilika mali kwa sababu kuna watu wanafuga simba, si ndio? Kuna watu wamewakusanya simba, wameweka kwenye zoo, watu wanaenda na wenyeji wanaotunza yule simba hawadhuriwi, si ndio? Wale wamepewa power, wametumia hapo kamoja ya 10 ka power yao kuweza kuwasubdue lions. Kule India wanawatumia tembo, si ndio? Kufanya shughuli kama tunavyotumia ng'ombe, punda hapa Tanzania. India kazi hizo zinafanywa na tembo, ndio anavuta vitu. Wameweza kutumia their ability, their God-given power to subdue the elephants to do their own activities. Kwa sisi leo tumekuja hapa kwa ajili ya kusharpen our skills, to strengthen our capacity, so that tuendelee kuwa na nguvu ya kucommand, nguvu ya kusubdue, nguvu ya kureign, nguvu ya kushape. Mtu mwingine anasema tuliumbwa kwa mfano wa sura ya Mungu, yani kwa mfano wa Mungu. Je, Mungu ana masikio? Mungu ana kichwa? Hiyo ni dhana ya kwanza. Lakini Mungu ana uwezo wa kuona. God has ability to view things before they happened. He knew the human race will fall. Alifahamu kabisa mwanadamu ataanguka, and he created he made the plan of redemption many years before the actual fall hasn't happened. Kwa Mungu ana vision. Na hivyo nataka kuwashukuru wale wote ambao wamekuwa behind these preparations, kwa sababu wamekuwa na vision. Na leo wamefulfill vision yao ya kuhakikisha kwamba the young people at Kilimanjaro Christian Medical Center and neighboring institutions, and those who are alumni to the college, wanna meet in a Christian faith, wanna meet in a Christian environment, wanna meet again, to reshape na kusharpen their minds so that they can be able to subdue the earth. Ukienda kule mwisho kwenye kitabu cha Ufunuo anasema ufalme wa Mungu utatekwa na watu wenye nini? Wenye nguvu. Huo ni ufalme wa Mungu. Vipi ufalme wa dunia? Nimealikwa hapa kuzungumza na ninyi juu ya namna ya kubaki mvumilivu na mstahimilivu mpaka ndoto yako itimie. Nami nimeita kwa majina matatu: patience, perseverance, and So, it is patience, perseverance, and resilience. Kwa Kiswahili haya maneno, kuna moja linasema subira, kuna nyingine linasema uvumilivu, na kuna nyingine linasema ustahimilivu. Kwa mimi nimeita patience, perseverance, and resilience in mission. Asubuhi, wakati mnaanza mkutano asubuhi, Reverend Misanya alizungumza kwamba the medical mission is the mission that works with God. You can't be a medical specialist or a medical professional and you separate yourself with God. Actually, ukisoma baadhi ya vitabu vya Wakristo wengine ambao wameandika, wanasema huduma ya afya ni mkono wa kuume wa injili duniani. It means if you are a medical professional, whether you like or not, you are taking part to service the human body. And the human, whether you believe in evolution or whatever things, I'm a sole believer of God's creation. This person was created by God and made possible to live, suffer few illnesses, and prepare the mechanism to service his body or her body. And you are the ones that have been bestowed this responsibility on this particular earth to do that particular duty. Well, you can't separate yourself with God's mission. And therefore, how do I carry on my profession, my healthcare professional, to the end of what I was seeing before? Hivyo niwapongeze nyote for finding time to register, number 1. Number 2, finding time to attend. Number 3, not just to attend till the end. And number 4, I want to reassure you that at the end of the day, you should do some reflections and create action plans for your future. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Yeah, wako watu wameregister hawajaweza kufika. They had a wish. Ninyi mmeregister, mmefika, and you are learning. So the wish has been given some additional things, commitments, and you made yourself to come here. Niwapongeze sana, makofi kwa kila mmoja wenu. Ukiona mtu anashiriki kupiga makofi, ujue ni miongoni mwa wale ambao nimeanza kuwashika. So thank you very much kwa kunialika katika siku ya leo. Enchilia na timu yako, tunawashukuru sana kwa kazi ambayo mmefanya kuandaa mkutano huu. CMDA ni tawi tu la gospel mission to the world. What is happening in Tanzania is just a little of many things that happens in the at the global level. CMDA is a global foundation, it's a global initiative, it's a global mission, and we are just a portion of it. I'm very happy that this is happening. It is my wish kwamba tuendelee kuwa na mikutano kama hii even at every quarter, so that we have a well-shaped Christian missionary doctors. Mimi najitambulisha, siku hizi najitambulisha kama a Christian surgeon. Kwa kama wewe ni lab scientist, you must add something. And people must see Christ in your mission. And nomenclature is not enough. Developing attitude, developing relevant working protocols that focus on proclaiming the word of God to people who are sick, as you're extending to minister them when you're doing phlebotomies, when you're tracking them, when you're operating them, when you're giving them injections as a nurse. Remember, you are performing a divine mission, and that person, it is high time you connect and reconnect. If he has lost track and is not following God, please reconnect him. If he has never heard about God, please connect him or her as you minister. Kwa hiyo tuendelee kuwa na mikutano kama hii mara kwa mara. I attended the CMDA conference for surgeons in Greece in 2019, and there are several meetings that are happening here and there, and we have a meeting, I think this year, isn't it, for the World CMDA Congress next year here in Tanzania. The last meeting of the global level that happened, it was in India a few years ago before COVID. I think that was 2019. Kwa hiyo, ile umelipa, and I'm telling you, you're paying very little money. 10,000. Ni pesa ndogo sana. Ukichange hapa KCMC mpaka ufike mjini imeisha. Si ndio? Kwa hiyo, the value of money na kitu unachokipata they don't tally. 10,000 yako, 15,000 yako, 20,000 yako na material uliyopata katika siku ya leo. I'm telling you, if you go to the menu, ukaangalia anachofanya Stephen Harvey, watu wanalipa shilingi ngapi per hour? Is much. Consultation yake tu unakwenda kumuuliza how should I make tomorrow a better day, you may be paying $400,000. Just kumwona. There's a Christian entrepreneur called Strive Masiwa in Zimbabwe who is living in UK. He's moving here and there as he walks around to inspire young people to become relevant person and develop relevant personality in the world they are living. When he came to Tanzania, people saw him at Diamond Jubilee and listened to him for 1 hour town hall conference and got $300. He just paid $2 or $5. So take it seriously. Without taking much of your time in the things that are relevant. Some are relevant, some may say tunapoteza muda, lakini mimi naona kama ni point hivi. Msiache kuhudhuria mikutano. Ukitokea wa Nairobi msiache kwenda. God didn't create Moshi and heavens. God made the earth and the heaven. Mungu aliziumba mbingu na nchi, sio Moshi na mbingu. Do you understand, colleagues? Mungu aliumba mbingu na nchi, na sio Moshi na mbingu. If there is a conference in Zimbabwe, strive to go. If there is a conference in Boston, try and attend. Find time in your life to attend to these conferences. There are so many. Mimi nimehudhuria na nitaendelea kuhudhuria, na nashukuru leo nimehudhuria huu mwingine. Kwa hiyo nitaendelea kuvumilia na kuhudhuria kila siku. Asante kwa kuangalia tofauti. Here's microphone. Sasa, what's a journey of becoming a medical profession or a health profession? To start ways back, probably at your parental level. Some of you were persuaded by their parents to become health professionals. Some of you were forced by circumstances. They never planned to become doctors, but they all healthcare professionals. But they started doing PCB, and when they started PCB, they selected PCB just by passing, and now they are at the university level. They have graduated and become medical doctors, but all healthcare professionals, and they have never figured out what does it take to become that person. All in all, whether you knew before, whether you are knowing it now, we all agree that it's not an easy journey. We all know that there were speed bumps across the roads, whereby we have to encounter them, whether we knew or we didn't knew. Sometimes I was driving from here to Arusha, and there are speed bumps that I passed through without my understanding. I just hear the car bumping, bump, mevuka, bump. Some of them I knew and I slowed down. Some of you have been trained to become doctors. You wanted to become doctor right from your family level. When you are 2 years old, 3 years old, when people ask what you want to become when you grow up, you say I want to become a doctor. And there was no shortcut to become a doctor unless you have gone to primary school, unless you have gone to A level, and you have passed your physics, chemistry, biology, and you have graduated and become a medical student for 5 years. You did internship for 1 year, minimum of 1 year. Some did for 2 years. Some did for 3 years, some did even for 4 years, just internship here and there, a lot of troubles. Some did medical school for 5 years, some did for 2 years, for 7 years or 10 years, depending on the circumstances. But we all agree it's not an easy journey. For those who grew up in Tanzania and studied all things in Tanzania, they might be witness to this, what I'm saying. Probably the first time to hear someone speaking pure English was at the university. And all the time that you have been learning English, you never knew, although you are passing. And lecturers were not converting subjects into Swahili so that you understand. In primary school or in secondary school, sometimes teachers were able to convert the materials into Swahili for you to understand. In university, you find someone talking in English from point A to point Z, no Swahili word at all. And to some, it was an obstacle for them to achieve very well. English was an obstacle. But you endured and overcome it. Some of you asking people questions, taking a history. I remember when I was a medical student in third year, exposed to clinical skills. Go and talk to that patient and tell us the history. The presentation, yes, I tried to clerk in Swahili. I organized the history in 3 days. And in the fourth day, appearing to my lecturer, starting talking to him. And I was thinking, how can I make it out? Those who are in medical field, doctor of medicine, they may be aware of how to make history. Some of the things we cooked. Some of them, zingine ziliiva, zingine zikufanya nini? Hazikuiva. It was troubles. We all know it's a difficult journey. Some of you are doing laboratory health science as an alternative when you fail to become medical doctors. And every day you are thinking that why did I fail? Behold, I wanted to be a doctor, but I didn't pass it well. I missed the credits to become a doctor. I want to tell you that is not a failure. Actually, it's another opportunity to utilize what you have wanted to become a healthcare professional. You just don't know the journey. If you're guided very well. I have a friend. He was the best student. He was one of the 10 best students in a bowl. He passed and was selected to join Kibaha Secondary School. He got division 1.10 at Boro. At Kibaha, when he was graduating, finishing Form 6, he got division 3, and he never became a doctor. He came here lamentingly joining health laboratory science degree program. He was talking, the first year was talking how he wished to become a doctor. And he was talking and talking and talking. But the third year, second year, third year, he was guided very nicely and he did well. He went for an internship, but then they were doing three years, and then you do 1 year of internship. He passed. The first appointment that he received as a job offer, it was National Medical Research Institute. He worked for 2 years. He got a scholarship, Harvard Muhimbili, Public Health. He went and do it, and again he went and do a teaching program over there at Muhimbili, and a year later he was employed as an advisor to the ambassador, His Excellency Ambassador of United States of America in Tanzania. He's working at the US Embassy in Tanzania as a laboratory health scientist. I was telling him the other day when he came to run marathon, we had time to chat with him at Uhuru Hotel when we were taking some barbecues over there. I tell you, if you could be a medical doctor, you could be like me, servicing people at KCMC or some other. You could not work at the embassy. Imagine. So don't underestimate the course you are doing now. Don't underestimate the profession you are in now. It is all because God wanted you to be in His mission. We can't all be Moses. Some need to be Aaron. Some need to be Joshua's. But all in all, we are all the partakers of that mission that God established when we were little younger ones. Praise the Lord. Amen. So don't underestimate. Whether you're passing with minors, whether you're passing after supplementing, whether you're passing after repeating years, there is a purpose you are looking for, and you should keep your focus. Whether you're employed or not. Because some of you here are intern doctors, and they don't know if they got employed. Today, the government have just announced that it will employ 250 doctors. And you're thinking, probably you may not be one of them. Don't worry, we will not all work in the public service. Some should go to private service. And some of you, God will deny you an employment in the government so that you can be job makers, to save so many people who are job seekers. So those are the pathways. You need to know what will be my way. The other day I was talking to a colleague whom we graduated together. He became a gynecologist last year from Muhimbili University of Health Science and Allied Health Sciences. He's a colleague. And we were discussing, says, oh, I'm doing this, I'm being paid very low, but I do not regret why I did medicine. Some of us are really regretting, because after 5 years of training, some of our colleagues who went for business school, who went for other type of profession, when they were in third year, when you were in third year, they were graduating. In fourth year, they got a first job, and they got a high-paying job. You're graduating, he has 2 cars at his parking lot. He owns a plot where he wants to start building. The day you are graduating, you haven't started the internship. The day you get employed and you are paid, you find out your salary is close to $900 or $800. He is building his own house. Actually, he's marrying now. And he's asking for Django from you. And you find how difficult it is to pay that in Django. Say, come on. I didn't mean I do the same. Probably I will be able to support him. Do not regret. Stick on your way. Your way is highway if you know your purpose. The medical profession carries you to different trajectories. Some of you will go to public service. Well, good. Some of you will go to faith-based organizations like Kilimanjaro Christian Medical Center and other like Buganda and many other. On just arrangements on your own, just asking for job, because God has created these institutions to take people. And you are the one who will be taken there. Some of you will miss job, but do not lose focus. After your internship, you still need to dream again. In your third year, you need to dream again. When I'm graduating, what will I become? Remember, when you were young, people asked you, who will you become when you grow up? And you said, I wanted to be a doctor. Now you're a health laboratory scientist. Now you're a nurse. Now you're a doctor really. But I want to tell you again, the next question is, who will you become in the next 5 years? And the question goes beyond. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Some will say, I'm seeing myself as a mother of 3 kids. Some will say, I'm seeing myself as a chronic registrar. You know, chronic registrar. But this question is still important, as it was the first question. Whom will you become when you grow up? When you grow up. And I'm asking today, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? We didn't have enough time, and the conference is so short to get a three days conference, whereby we can sit together and mentor these young people to realize their purposes, reorganize their vision, and dream again for the bigger things. We are not meant for small things. Actually, some of you will be given tasks and they will deny the same way Jeremiah denied. If you read the book of Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 1 up to 5, you will understand that Jeremiah was called to a mission while before being born. In the mama's womb, sindio? Anaitwa, anasema nalikujua. And God tried to talk these things because he had denied his activities. He has been shying away from the call. Ndipo Mungu anamkumbusha, behold, I knew you before you were made. I actually gave you this mission while you were in your mother's womb. And today I'm talking to young people who need to become problem solvers and not problem makers. Your profession will lead you to become a problem solver. A patient who is admitted in the ward, who is suffering intestinal obstruction, who is electrolytes are deranging, you are the one who you are going to test that particular patient and understand his potassium is very low. Inform the medical doctor on time and in time. Make sure that you have dispatched the true results on time without being lazy, so that the patient can receive potassium supplement and live again from his obstruction. Because he was suffering from paralytic ileus. And imagine your role just to measure potassium in his blood. I've created a very interesting management of potassium chloride infusion, and the patient is able to walk again. So you have a role to do. So imagine yourself. What are the opportunities beyond you? Sasa hivi unaweza kuona kama maisha haiendi hivi, kama ulikosea hivi. But you need to keep dreaming again and again until you achieve. Hatujafanya vizuri kwenye hii topic inaitwa medical entrepreneurship in medical field. Hatujafanya. Itabidi tutengenezee Zoom meeting ili tuweze kuongea na vijana zaidi ya 1000 wanao graduate kila mwaka kuangalia opportunities within the medical profession. We cannot remain the same. 1,000 of doctors are graduating every year. Employment opportunities within the country and within the United Republic of Tanzania getting smaller and smaller. Majority are now making troubles in life. Working with envelopes for years and years looking for jobs. Not knowing that they are problem solvers. They are opportunities. 3 or 4 of you can make a clinic. It is called doctor's office. You don't have lab. You graduated the stethoscope with your white coat, with your patella hammer, with your temperature measurement tool. You graduated with it. The day you graduate, you have all those things at your hand. And you can start a doctor's office. How do I get there? Let's talk outside this. We can help you. If you are 2 or 3, you can start a dispensary. And this dispensary is quite different from the setup. You can start a millennium, like the way we are doing Millennium Village. Eh? Have you forgotten the Millennium Development Goals? Ilikuwa na goals ngapi? Eh? Eh? So let me tell you, for you to be a problem solver, you need to make sure that you put your nose every day on the books before you put your bed on your pillow. You put your head on your pillow. So msome, mkumbuke, you can't master this world and shape it if you don't read. Kulikuwa na malengo 8 ya milenia. Na nchi yetu ya Tanzania ilipata fursa ya kutengeneza vijiji vya milenia. Vilikuwepo katika mkoa wa Tabora. And they were trying to put a prototype of things how can look in a village. Sawa? Na sisi tunaweza tukatengeneza prototype ya dispensary. The government ina dispensary ambayo inafanya kazi namna hii. Tunaweza tukaanza ku think of how we can make a dispensary looks in a modern way. Mukahakikisha dispensary, the manning level of the dispensary in this country is assistant clinical officer. Ndio recommendation. Kama kwenye zahanati kuwepo na tabibu msaidizi. But you can make a dispensary with 4 medical doctors. Why? Because we are 4 friends. One is interested in pediatrics, one is interested in internal medicine, one is interested in the gynecology, and one is interested in surgery. A specialized dispensary. Hakuna mtu mwingine. Watu wataacha kwenda kwenye kliniki za watu kule, wanakuja kwako. Na zahanati yako iko na system ambayo patient akifika anaonwa, anatibiwa, na mwisho wa siku kule mna pastor au paroko anawapa na kitubio, wanaenda nyumbani. Nenda usitende dhambi tena. Some of you need to start hospitals. Not clinics, hospitals. Usijilimit. Don't limit in your thinking. Sawa, you need to understand that God has a call. And when that call disturbs you, please listen. Utakosa usingizi na hutafanikiwa katika vitu vingine because you are shying away from God's call. If you feel in your heart you desire to go and make a hospital, please do. Time is coming when you will not be able to do. And I want to tell you, all people that I know in the Bible who shied away from God's mission, they didn't succeed in other missions. The first one I know is Jonah. He wanted to go to Tarshish, and in the middle of the sea, there was a storm. And the merikebu was not able to go on with the journey. And people had to vote. Who should we drop for us to survive? And the vote went to Jonah. Living in the whale's stomach for 3 days without oxygen, surviving anaerobic respiration for 3 days. Watu hapo waliokuwa COVID, saturation zinakuwa 20 ngapi, 30, 50, naona hapo struggle. Jonah was living in a place where oxygen was in scant supply for 3 days. I'm sure if you could measure his RBG for not eating for 3 days and being surrounded by the bile of the whale, his skin was excoriated. Walikuwa wamechomeka na ile nani mnaita nyongo. Kwa sababu ali diverge from the core. Don't diverge. A lot of things are happening in Africa, and Africa is going to be the greatest continent. It's going to be like it used to be, that's origin of man or mankind. It is still carrying the hopes of the entire world. That's why Chinese are coming here. That's why Japanese are coming here. That's why Russians are coming here. That's why America is coming here. Why? Because this is a continent of hope. Before COVID in 2019, we were having a lot of meetings. All African presidents were called to China in what is called China-African relationship. A week later, they were called to Japan in the Japan-African relationship. And a month later, they were called to Russia in a Russia-African relationship. And after knowing, listen, so the United Kingdom sent his African Minister for African Affairs. He went to Ghana and he went to some other countries to try to persuade. The Americans were not standing behind. Their foreign minister traveled to different places to convince Africans to remain in good ties, good relationship. So I'm talking to the people who carry the future of the world. Hey, unafikiri wanakuja kufanya nini? Actually, nowadays they restrict us to go in their countries because they want them to come into our countries. Mzungu akija Afrika, mnajua anaondoka na memory gani? I'll come back again. Sio unasema hivyo? Hey, I would like to live here. I'll come back again. Na akija anakuja na project, tunaregister pale KCRI for 3 years au pale Duke for 7 years, akitoka anakuja ndugu yake, akitoka anakuja ndugu yake, anatoka chuo chake, maisha yanakwenda hivyo because this is the source of life of the world. You are the most important part kwenye haya mafiga matatu. Don't underestimate your role. Ukitaka kuelewa vizuri, liondoe figa moja uone kama utaweza kusonga ugali. Oh sorry, I'm talking to the generation ambayo haijaona chakula kikipikwa kwenye mafiga matatu. Mumuone mtu hivi atawaambia. Atawaambia ugali hauivi vizuri bila kuwekwa katikati ya mafiga mangapi? Matatu. Sasa hivi tunaishi kwenye rice cooker and the pressure cookers. So there are a lot of pathways. And the incredible steps to that pathways. You need to know the role and position of God in your vision. Don't forget. Mark it. Know that God has got a position in my vision. You need to know the government of the Republic of United Tanzania has got a role in your vision. Don't stop there. You need to know your church, whatever denomination you are. Whether you are Pentecostal, whether you are SCDA, whether you are Roman Catholic, whether you are Luther. There is a position of your church as an institution in your vision. Don't forget, your family has got a position in your vision. Don't forget, you need to coordinate all these things in a very coordinated network for you to move on and achieve your dream. It is very important you learn how to network. Before you become 35, make sure you have traveled out of Tanzania. Before you graduate, Doctor of Medicine or Health Laboratory Science or Physiotherapy, make sure you have an international passport. Kwa sababu sio mtu mchezo. You're a problem solver. Problem solver need to meet despite their borders. I should be able to meet with Kenyans and sit in the round table and discuss. Where will I meet them? In the East African Business Council. In East African CMDA meetings. How do I go there without a passport? Mention universities that you know in Kenya. Kuna mtu analala hapa, ngoja nimwangalie. Taja vyuo vikuu vikubwa viwili nchini Kenya. Wisha. Taja chuo kikuu kikubwa sana nchini Uganda. Ngoja Taja chuo kikuu kikubwa sana pale Afrika Kusini. So gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you, we need to expand our knowledge. And this is expanded by not reading books alone. You need to venture out of this country. Move around. You know there is University of Zimbabwe, hey, you know there is Bulawayo University in Zimbabwe. You know University of Cape Town. You know KwaZulu Natal. You know Makerere. And you establish a consortium of medical students. Be a member of Tanzania Medical Student Association. That will lead you to be in a federation of medical students associations. You know University of Accra, Cairo University. You need to find a place. Have friends who go. You can have friends who can talk to them many years after you've graduated. You must cross-pollinate your brains. Know what is happening at Kenyatta University in Kenya. Know what is happening at University of Nairobi. Know what is happening at University of Dar es Salaam. Usiishie kuenda tu hapo Tumaini Makumbira University hapo Tengeru Arusha hapo Usarifu. Move around. Make a special visit. Travel, go and see friends. Go to State University of Zanzibar. Ndipo unapoweza kujiona, where are you? When I went to University of Lubumbashi, when I was in medical school, third year, in the University of Lubumbashi, ndipo nikaangalia Wakongo wanavyosumbuka na mimi nilivyo na fursa. They are lacking kwenye teaching hospital, lakini ugonjwa tunapigana. Tunauliza, hebu lala vizuri nikupime. Will you examine the abdomen very nicely when the bomb is blasting outside? When the rebels are holding a large machine gun. Wewe je, kuna large machine gun inafungwa kwenye cruiser. Hizi si cruiser zetu tunaona zinabeba watalii wa basi zile. Hapo ndipo large machine gun imetulia. University of Bujumbura. Tumekwenda University of what? Bujumbura. Nchini Tanzania kuna madaktari wa upasuaji karibu 450-500. Bujumbura wako 35, Burundi nzima wako 35. So expand your networks. Haiwezi ku-expand bila wewe kutembea. Na huwezi kutembea without passport. Jesus Christ, yes, is a Bwana wa mabwana, si ndio? Hey, he is boundless. Lakini you can't move outside Tanzania to go in KwaZulu Natal University without a passport. Even if you die, believe in Jesus Christ. Atakwambia nenda pale uhamiaji, utamkuta askari fulani atakusaidia, utapata passport kwa urahisi. Lakini hata kutoa Tanzania kukupeleka Marekani bila visa application. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. So expand your territories. Leo kama una marafiki katika vyuo vingine, kaanze kuwatafuta. It is people around us who will lift us up. Kuna wakati kulikuwa na vita kali sana baina ya wana wa Israeli na mataifa waliokuwa wanapita ndani wa Moabu wale. Kisoma kitabu cha Kutoka. Kwa wale ambao mnasoma Biblia, kwenye Kutoka pale Musa alikuwa akiinua mikono juu na kusali kwa Mungu, walikuwa wanashinda vita. Haleluya. Na mikono ikilegea wanachezea kichapo. Si ndio? Let's say mikono iko hapa juu, ya Musa ikilegea hapa kuna watu kama 3-4 wanakufa. Kwa hiyo walikuwa wamepeana zamu ya kuhakikisha wanashikilia mikono ya nani? Ya Musa juu. Wakati fulani katika maisha haya unahitaji watu wa kushikilia ili ndoto yako iweze kutokea. Ili ile hamu yako ya kuwa mtaalamu wa afya iweze kufikiwa. Kuwa daktari bingwa unahitaji pengine mtu aje akusemeshe. Kwamba unajua ukisoma pediatrics kuna opportunity. Ingawa ulikuwa huipendi kwa sababu ya uzoefu uliokuwa nao, lakini kuna vitu unaweza kuvipata. Unafanya pediatric health, alafu unakuwa daktari bingwa watoto Mkristo. Unayoleta tofauti. Mtu akikwambia hivyo unaanza kuona. Identify out of your people who is your role model. You are allowed to have more than one role model. Identify in your midst, in your network, who is your mentor. You are allowed to have more than one mentor. Life without other people, it will be difficult. Ndio maana Mungu aliumba watu wengi. Na siku walipokubaliana kwamba tusitawanyike kwenda kutafuta watu wengine, Mungu aliwasambaratisha kwenye mnara wa Babeli. people to scatter. Don't want to kukaa tu hapa wewe na watu wa Marangu, wewe na watu wa Marangu hapo tu Marangu hapo tu. Marafiki zako wa Marangu, hapana. Atawapiga kama alivyowapiga wana wa Babeli katika mnara wa Babeli. Advance. Nenda kutana na Waha kule Kigoma, nenda kutana na Wafipa kule Sumbawanga, nenda kutana na Wahehe Iringa. Unganisheni vichwa vyenu. Hata nchi ya Tanzania kama mtataka kufahamu, haijajengwa na kabila moja. Makabila yako 120 na zaidi, na wote wenye akili waliweza kukutana pamoja na Nyerere Mzanaki wakadai uhuru. Mmoja wao ni aliyekuwa rais wetu Benjamin William Mkapa kutoka huko kwa Makua Masasi. Jamaa tunaelewana? Find people around you. Mimi sina marafiki. Sina marafiki, sina kama friends, sina kama shots, sina kama nini. Tell me hizo story. Find friends and you grow up. So how do I get the necessary skills to make the steps? Jana ulikuwa MD1, kesho utakuwa MD5. How do I make sure I go and achieve what I want? I have 4 points. Number 1, learn. Knowledge you can acquire by yourself, but the skills are taught. You must be taught by someone. So read every day. Read within your profession and outside of your profession. Leo hapa wako nazungumza mambo ya financial intelligence. Kuna watu hapa hawajachukua notes hata hii. Kwa sababu hiyo lugha tu ilikuwa inawasumbua. Mambo ya asset liabilities, retirement plan. Yalikuwa yanafanya nini? Yanasumbua. Kwa sababu gani? Wewe umekomaa tu na history taking and examination. Where is the vein? I want to take a phlebotomy in which vein? Where do I put a cannula? Distal cannulas are nice. Distal veins are nice to put a cannula on. How do I put a central vein? How do I take a stool for examination? How do I reject the samples? Wale wazee wa maabara ambao mgomo wanasema sample not enough. Tunataka madaktari wa Kristo wanasema it is not enough, lakini nitaiombea kwa Mungu. Itupe majibu. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. You understand guys? Kuna watu wamechoka huko kazini, hawataki vitu vingine. Hii damu hii, wewe umehangaika kuchukua kwa neonate, umepata 1 mil. Unafikisha pale anakuambia tena akwambia saa hiyo hiyo. Unakuta kwenye system wameandika sample is not. Daktari Mkristo leo anakuambia daktari, hapo tunataka tupime nini na nini? Kama tunataka tupime HB, tupime electrolyte, tupime blood group. Sasa kwa kasampa mpaka ulikoleta hatutaweza kupima vyote. Tutaweza kupima labda tu labda HB. Lakini na reject mzigo mzima. Damn, reject mzigo mzima. I've struggled for hours to get that blood from that. Watu wangu wa baba Mungu anawaona. Please. Alipowaangalia wale watu. Na si maneno yangu, ni maneno ya Kristo. Alipowaangalia wale watu, aliwaonea huruma. Uongo kweli, si imeandikwa hivi? Alipowaangalia alifanya nini? Aliwaonea huruma. Wewe bila huruma unasema sample is not representative. Kwa maana kutumia knowledge ulionayo. Au unaenda kusoma anesthesia, unasema patient is not fit for anesthesia. Why did you go and study anesthesia? Kwa sababu normal patient, mtu yote anaweza kuwa anesthesia, si ndio? When they have problems, it's when your profession start. Where a doctor ends, ndipo Mungu anapoanzia, si ndio? Where other people ends is where your profession starts. Makofi kwa ndugu yangu Ulasa. So pathway hizi zinaweza zikakupeleka maeneo mbalimbali. Hakikisha umejifunza. You acquire necessary skills. Jifunze nje ya box hili. Mama mtoto atakuwa shahidi. We need what we call life skills. Our young people and good professionals, millennials ambao tunakutana nao sasa hivi, they have mastered very well their subjects of study. They are good lawyers, but they're not good people in the society. Why? Because they miss life skills. You can't go to school and graduate with LLM, Masters of Laws, and you beat your wife at home. You are a corrupt guy. Why? Because you don't have life skills. The social quotient, the emotional quotient, the financial quotient should go hand in hand with the intelligence quotient. Say amen. Amen. You can't separate them. Whether your university is giving only the IQ or is treating you on the IQ things, please find other ways you can develop both of those skills. And you are living in the world full of opportunities, informations. You can Google now and learn something. Tomorrow they will be announcing a course somewhere. Please join. Huwezi kuongea Kiingereza, tafuta namna ya kutumia application iliyo kwenye simu yako. All of you smartphone. Sasa hivi ukitaka kuwa na mtoto anakwenda chuo kikuu, cha kwanza unaambiwa naomba laptop na nini? Na simu ya smart. Wangapi waliambia baba zao hapa msinyoshe mkono lakini. Nataka hiyo. Na huku hajawahi kutumia smartphone kusoma, anatumia kuchati na Instagram. Get out of those things unless you're using it for business or gospel mission. Ndio ukae huko. Otherwise use your smartphone. Nionyeshe Google yako. Unajua kuna kitu kinaitwa Google history. The more time you went to Google, show me your Google. And I'll tell you your character. So skills are rampant here and there. People are offering them. Please make use of your technology. I can join your course sasa hivi inayotolewa na Harvard bila kuwa Harvard. Nenda tukaandike Harvard School of Harvard online courses, itakuletea. Some of the courses are free. Na mimi ni muumini wa kusoma vitu vya bure. Silipi kwa sababu sina. Kuna tafuta vya bure vinavyoweza kunisogeza. Sawa? Na wewe tafute. A person who is reading a book, just one book a year, is a million times different from a person who is not reading a book. Mwaka jana nje ya Schwartz textbook of surgery nilisoma other books 15. Kikiwemo cha Atul Gawande Complications, kikiwemo cha Atul Gawande Checklist, kikiwemo cha Atul Gawande Immortal, kikiwemo kitabu cha Michelle Obama Becoming. Mwaka huu kwenye plani yangu nataka kusoma vitabu vingine kama 20. My difference in other people is on the knowledge and skills. Short of that, you are going nowhere. Short of that, you are going nowhere. Sasa ukipata matatizo, pengine umeshagundua mpaka sasa, usome kitabu chochote. Mpaka sasa unamwabudu Kristo kwa machale, yani saa ukiona shida bomu alitoshi unasema nisaidie Mungu. Saa ukiona karibia una supplement unasema Mungu nisaidie. Umeshagundua mpaka sasa hivi haujafanya kazi kuifikia ndoto yako vile unavyotaka. Umeangalia mpaka sasa hivi bado kuna vitu fulani vinakusumbua, hata ndoto huna, yani hujui kwa nini upo. Nataka nikwambie hujachelewa, you can still make a change. Sawa? You can still make a change. Even a single minute is enough to change you from a zero person to a hero person. Sikiliza. Steps ni kama zifuatazo. It is not easy. And when the tough get tough, when it get tough, that's the beginning of good things. Sawa? Don't give up. Usikate tamaa. Utafiti umefanyika kwa wagonjwa waliokuwa na critical illnesses. Unaweza kusoma. Patient who had given up and the patient who had hope, even from the same diagnosis of cancer or untreatable disease, they had a different death rate. They didn't die on the same day, and their death didn't require too much resuscitation. It was just a mere sleep. Kuna watu wanakufa anarusha mateke, anasukuma kitanda, anataka kuanguka mpaka, lakini watu waliokuwa na matumaini hata kufa kwao kulikuwa kwa utulivu. So don't give up. If you can't learn from patients, where else will you learn? I'm a believer of modern medicine. Now William Osler alisema we learn from patients. The father of modern medicine, William Osler. He said those who start medicine without going to the wars is like fishing in uncharted sea. Mimi najifunza kila siku kwa wagonjwa na waona. Walio na matumaini wanasogea. Hata kama ana stomatic leak. Hata kama anaenda theater kwa mara ya 4, they still make up, tofauti na aliyekata tamaa. A patient who is very disappointed tend to disappoint even the doctor who is treating. Doctor, tuache tu. Ugonjwa tumekuwa nao kwa muda mrefu, tuache tu. Na wewe unamwacha tu. Anakufa mapema, maisha yanaisha. Don't give up. There is a difference in giving up and quitting. Some people give up but don't quit. Some people give up and eventually quit. Don't quit. Do not quit. Do not think, delete that phrase in the list of phrases you have. Never give up and never quit. The journey has just begun. When the tough get going, it's the tough that
with us. negative 15. And so the going was very tough, and you really needed a family, someone who could guide you and everything. And that's when I joined CMF. And to be honest, I think CMF was very, very helpful to me, like what Rim was saying. I remember even when we were like in second year, we would go to outreaches. You know, I was very happy when Dr. Elichelia was showing us pictures. We would go to outreaches in in secluded places. But like what Paul writes in the Bible, and he says, God will not forget your labor of love. You know, that labor of love that you're doing and you're working in God's field, God will not forget that. And honestly, ever since I started going to